I can't wait to get on the road again. Action! Hey guys! What's up, guys? My podcast party people, how's it going? If you couldn't tell by the video or the cleverly placed song, I'm in the car, driving to good old hot-ass Arizona. Yes, sirree. Thanks to Mr. Willie Nelson for leading us in to this great episode 13. Yeah, so I'm in the car today, stuck in traffic for 7.5 hours. That's right, you heard it right, 7.5 hours. I've been in traffic for 30 minutes so far. Been waiting to get into a spot where I don't really need the GPS to really navigate out of here, but good old LA traffic is just atrocious. You know, there's just no getting out. They want you in, but you can't get anywhere. So that's fun. Today's setup in the car is much different. For those who are watching, you can see in the back I got some stuff. I'm bringing some stuff back to Arizona for my friend. But I am not holding on to any equipment. Last time I recorded in the car, I had the microphone kind of wedged between my belly and the seat belt, so it was kind of pointing up at my chin. Today it's a bit different. I don't think you can see it in the camera, but on my visor, you know, the little thing that flips down so you can block the sun, I have that gaff taped to the corner so it's pointing at my mouth. Since I'm using a directional microphone, that it makes it a little bit the way it's pointed helps. So these microphones, I'm using a shotgun mic. Normally you put them on a boom pole and you kind of hold the pole up over your head. You hold it up over your head and you aim the microphone at the actor's mouth. And that's what essentially what I'm doing. I have a gaff taped to the thing and it's pointing at my mouth and it's out of my way. Don't have to worry about it falling, and I can just keep it up there and talk. And the camera, I'm using my good old Nikon, and that thing is gaff taped to the dashboard, just fucking strapped down. Hopefully it's not going anywhere. There's 3 pieces of big old tape on there, so let me tell you, that thing is semi-secure. But since I'm only moving at a 15 to 30 mile per hour pace, give or take, depending on the flow of traffic, I don't have to worry about that sliding around. So, yeah. I just turned the air off, so it's gonna get a little toasty. It's 86, but that's because I'm not near the coast. So, oh well. Oh look, we're down to 6 hours and 48 minutes. Cool, yay! Yes. So yeah, if the audio is bad, it's cause I'm in the car. Sorry for wearing the glasses, the sunglasses. It's bright, so yeah, it's happening. What's up? What's up, peoples? How's it going? I've been working on I don't know if I talked about this, but I've been working on a South African accent. I definitely was talking about it with Ray. I just didn't do it. But I've always wanted to have a to be able to do a South African accent. I find them so fascinating. And on the movie I did, I'm just passing an undercover police. But this car said police inceptor. So how undercover was he? And he had the 2 light circle things on the side. So he's not fooling anybody. But on the last movie I worked on, there was these two guys who were from, I think they were from Cape Town, South Africa, and they had these accents. They obviously had the accents, and it was just awesome because I was in close proximity to them for like 3 days, so I was able to listen to them every now and then, and so I like picked up on subtle things, and it definitely helped me develop it a little bit more. And I've been following this guy, this visual effects artist, and like he like teaches stuff on YouTube for like editing and visual effects, and he's from South Africa, so it's also like another thing to like listen to. So like I've been working on having a South African accent. It's not the best one. It's not like my best accent that I have in my repertoire, but I'm working on it. It's a bit tricky. It's not easy, but I don't know. I like it, and I would like to develop it a bit more. See, like sometimes it goes in and out of being like European, or I slip into Australian. It all depends on, you know, it like certain words that I use is dependent on the accent. Like when I do an Australian accent, I try to use the proper terminology for things. Like I try to use bloke. You know, I try to use all these different words that American folks that we don't use. You know, like, and my the problem with my Australian accent is that I kind of go with a bit of a stereotypical one. So you've got like the fluctuations of like the cadence of you know, like how my, like sometimes like the voice like dips up and down in tone, and you know, you just like the pitch, like I tend to bend the pitch a lot, like dip it down and then like really get high, just like to really hit those stereotypical things that you hear. So, you know, I don't know, but like the key thing that I think helps sell an accent is that you use the local words, like words that fit the vocabulary. Like, you know, I think it helps sell the accent. I'm no expert. I'm no accent expert. I'm no vocal coach expert or whatever, you know. So these are just things that I've picked up on as I've been doing it for, I don't know, 12 years. I mean, I've always, my dream in high school was to be an illustrator and an animator. I wanted to go to school for illustration and animation. I looked for art schools for that. I wanted to be like Seth MacFarlane. I wanted to create my own show and voice all the voice all the characters, or a good majority of them. And so that's what I really wanted to do. I still want to do that. But now I'm just gonna probably go through it a different route, you know, like Taika Waititi. When he directed Thor, he played Korg. Yeah, he played Korg. So I mean, I'll still find opportunities to be able to do a voiceover, and as a director, I can make those character decisions. I can choose who I want to play what. I have a project that I'm working on, and I'm gonna voice one of the little robot things in there. So yeah, so I can still do whatever I want to. But yeah, I would love to have an animated show. It'd be friggin' awesome. Oh yeah. This week it was Yom Kippur. So I suffered for a bit. suffered for 25 hours. I had work off. Well, so for those that don't know, Yom Kippur is like a day of reflection, and in the Jewish religion, it's a day of reflection. You're supposed to reflect on your past year, and you get written into into God's book, and to have a fresh start, basically. And you ask for people's forgiveness, and and that type of thing. So the night before at sunset, you start fasting, and the fast doesn't end till the next night after sundown, until you can see one star. That's the fast. So it's usually about 25 hours, and it's miserable because you can't eat and you can't drink water. Which, listen, you could take food away from me for a couple days. As long as I have water, I'm good. I like eating though, so don't do that. But I'm just saying I could last a bit if I needed to without food. So luckily I had the day off from work. My bosses are both Jewish, so they weren't there either, so it made it easy. I was gonna go to services, but I just haven't found a synagogue that I'm comfortable with, nor have I just found one. I was really kind of intimidated, and going to a new synagogue or temple or what have you and I'm sure, I don't know, I'm sure it's true for church, but it's very kind of nerve-wracking or just it's like scary in a way. Like you're going to a place, not only are you going to a place to quote unquote worship, but you're going to a place where there's potentially hundreds of people you've never met, and going alone is pretty frightening too. Like, at least if I go to a new synagogue at home with my parents, I have my parents or my siblings, so it's like a little easier. You have someone to sit next to, you have someone to talk to, or you just have someone there to share the experience. And so I don't know, I think I'm using it as an excuse why I didn't go. I also just don't like going. I wanted to go, but I just didn't. So I don't know. I just stayed home, kind of slept a bit, and yeah, I don't know. It was probably an excuse, but who knows? The rabbi that my dad goes to, at the synagogue my dad goes to, he's friends with the rabbi that runs the shul, the synagogue where I kind of live by. So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go sometime at some point to introduce myself, and I'll probably start going there. Just kind of feel it out, see how things go. Just to if I want to go to services at some point, I'll have a place to go, and there's another holiday coming up soon, so yeah, we'll see. I'm not huge into going to services. It's not I don't find it fun. I mean, church and temple is not supposed to be fun, but I don't know. There's just something about it that I don't like. I don't know. I love being Jewish. I love most of the traditions. A lot of them are just weird and whack, but I'm sure the same goes for a lot of religions. I just don't know. But to each his own. Yeah, and one of the things I was talking about that my mom was saying was because a lot of these Jewish holidays are based around suffering, like the suffering the Jewish people went through. And like they are times of reflection, but like there's like this negative connotation on them, on like people, on like how our people suffered. And it's true, like, you know, you can learn through pain, you can learn from suffering, and you can find lessons and things for that. But like what my mom was saying, and what I agree with, is that if we continue to think of only suffering, then wouldn't that be what we only continue to receive? Like, so what she was saying is, like, in times like this, like, even though they are holidays where you're supposed to remember the suffering that our people went through thousands of years ago, but not only that, but also to reflect on the good, because without the good, you know, without the bad you can't have the good, and without the good you can't have the bad. Like, they, yin and yang, they complement one another. So it's also very important to remember that the good times that you've had, the good things that have happened in your life, and the good moments and memories, and the amazing people that have come into your life in this past year. So, you know, I use those I use that time to like meditate and reflect on those things. And because it's true, like, if you only think about bad stuff, then that's like all that's going to come to you. So if you use the time, especially on a day like that where you're supposed to reflect, why not reflect on the good and be grateful for the good? Be grateful for the bad that has happened too, because without the bad, then you can't see and find the good. And you know, the same goes for the good. Like, if you can reflect on that and see, like, okay, these were bad, how can I make that good? Or just be grateful for all the good. That's it. And so, yeah, I was just at home enjoying myself, just, you know, not doing much, not exerting myself much, because I couldn't drink. I had to like swallow my saliva as hard as I could, and it still just burned. Even thinking about it now, it's infuriating. But, you know, we do it. If we can find ways to suffer, we do it, you know? Like, look, I turned off the AC and I'm sweating. My pits I can feel my pits moistening up. But I don't know. Religion is an interesting topic of discussion. It can go in so many different ways. Like, it depends on who you're talking to with it. A lot of people don't like listening to it, and if you're one of those people, I apologize. But I don't know. It was just something I wanted to talk about, even though I didn't really get too deep into it. But I thought I would mention it because it's my podcast and I can. But yeah, so after Yom Kippur was over, I couldn't break the fast right away, because I had committed to working the premiere of Michael Moore's new movie, Fahrenheit 11/9, and they really hate when you ask for time out. Like, if you commit to it and you like say I can't work it, the company doesn't really like that, especially like when I realized last minute that it's like I can't work it. I did that before, and I just remembered, like, it was probably not a good thing. It was like either the day of or the day before that the person I emailed was really mad. So I was just like, you know what, whatever, it's over. I just won't be able to eat for a little bit. And normally these jobs, like at the premieres, they don't have me doing in like crazy work anyway. I'm not like a PA. It's not like I'm on a movie set like lifting heavy things. Usually I'm either working will call, checking people in, or whatever, or directing people. Like, so in that one, in the Fahrenheit one, all I had to do was sit at the parking garage. And when the parking garage was full, the attendant was supposed to let me know so I can let my supervisor know. And that was it. And I don't know what the point of that was. But yeah. So literally I just sat around and was on Instagram. And when the thing got full, I started directing other people that came by to a different garage, and I eventually got called back and then was let go to go home. And it was easy. So I really didn't exert myself at all. And after that, went to Trader Joe's, picked up some bagels, some schmear. Picked up some bagels and some schmear and some lox and some red onions. And went to I went to Elena's house, my friend Elena, with the lox and the bagels and the schmear, and we went to she was going to break the fast with me. This is my impersonation of Woody Allen, if you couldn't tell or if you didn't know. I don't know if it's good or not. When you hear yourself, you're like, that sounds pretty good. But to other people, it might not be that good. So I went to her house, and I was gonna go there anyway because I have her stuff, and she is moving out of LA. So she actually left yesterday. So I went on Wednesday night. So I put in like some of her things because it wouldn't fit in her car. So I had to go there anyway, and so I decided to bring food so that I could break the fast. And so by that time it had been 26 hours. I haven't eaten or drinking. And then so I get to her place, and I'm not really hungry. I'm just really thirsty. So I just down a cup of water, and she's like, "Can we move this stuff into your car really quick before we eat?" Because it was already super late, and her neighborhood that she moved at is a little sketchy. So I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it before it gets too late." So we did that, and then by the time I ate, it had been 28 hours. And oh my god, it was so good. I think I had 3 bagels with cream cheese. I had one with lox and onion, which was a little much. It was the first time I had fish in a month or whatever, however long it's been since I got food poisoning. I was a little worried about it. Oh, the camera turned off. Sorry, I didn't realize the camera turned off. I glanced at it earlier, and I was like, oh, it's gonna turn off in a minute, and I don't know how long ago that was. So I apologize for that. I did not mean for that to happen. So I'm really sorry for that. Yeah, so the lox, I normally like it. It was fine, but I was still really worried about eating fish, and rightfully so. I tested the waters. I wasn't scared to eat it, but I was still a little worried. Nothing happened, but I think I'm still gonna stay away from fish. It didn't make me queasy or anything. It just, I was like, I still don't think I want to eat fish right now. But I went for it. You can't say I didn't go for it again. So I tried it. It was good, but I think I'm still gonna stay away. But I had 3 bagels with cream cheese. So good. So it's so good. He's so good. And we watched a bit of Adventure Time, and then I went home. And that was my Yom Kippur. And it was one of the better ones. Normally they feel very long. I'm forced to go to temple, forced to go to services by my father. Not forced, but heavily encouraged is the word I would use. Heavily encouraged. And yeah. And yeah. I don't know. Oh yeah. So before we ate, I had a little bit of had a little hit of the devil's lettuce, a little puff of the Mary Jane. I haven't smoked in like a couple months, but maybe like 3 or so months, and I just stopped because I was like, oh, like it's not that I don't like it. It's just like I got to a point where I was like, okay, like I'll just smoke a bowl or a little bit before I go to sleep. It'll just like calm me down. And then, I would smoke on the weekends. I wasn't going crazy. I wasn't like doing it every single day. Oh no, the camera turned off again. Okay, so my camera is too low on battery to keep going, so I apologize. I guess I was not prepared. So my apologies. That sucks. Yeah, oh yeah. So I wasn't like getting like really dependent on it. I like sort of like don't think that I wasn't like doing it every day and like I had to. But I lived in Venice. It's legal. I could I could walk into a shop and buy however much I wanted to. And so I smoked it for a bit, and then I realized, like one day I was like, why do I need to do this? It's not doing any good. Like if anything, it's bringing me down a little bit, and it's making me eat more. So I stopped. I just stopped smoking, and I still had it. I just shoved it in my drawer and just put it away. And I also stopped drinking. Not that there's anything wrong against drinking. I'm like, I don't need this to like, because especially in LA, like I feel like every time you go out, it's like we have to get drinks, and it's like we don't need to get drinks, and they're expensive, and I don't want to like have like to rely on those things. I have to turn on the air. It's getting really friggin' hot. I don't want to have to rely on those things to have a good time. So I just stopped. I stopped, and in the last couple of weeks, I'll have I've started having like 1 glass of wine, but I've had like maybe 2 or 3 glasses of wine in the last 3 weeks, and to me that's fine. I still don't like drinking, and especially if I'm going out and I have to buy like a $13, watered down rum with ginger beer. Like I don't want to waste all that money, so I don't know, it's an expense thing. But the weed thing, that's just like but the last time I did it, I didn't really like the way it made me feel, and then I would always shovel my face with like chips or something, like, and I lived by a convenience store, so every time I would smoke, I'd like take a walk over there, buy some chips and like chocolate, and come back and smoke some more, and then just eat all that stuff. And so yeah, the other night was the first time in like 3 or 4 months where I smoked, and it was just like a small hit, and it didn't like make me super high. I did have a massive headache because of not drinking water, so it did take that away, which was I think that if anything I can take away from smoking is that it relieved me of my headache. So, but I definitely won't be smoking anytime soon. I still have a little bit left. This time it wasn't my weed, but I still not gonna. I just, there's no need. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back around to it. I was a very straight edge in high school and in college. I drank beer in college until I found out that I'm allergic to wheat, and my throat started closing up. So that stopped, and I didn't have my first beer until the summer going into my freshman year of college. So yeah, and I don't remember. I think I smoked, my first time smoking was I was in college with some friends. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying not to do it if that's what you want to do, but just don't be dependent on it. Don't think that like you need to do it to have a good time. Don't think that you like need to do it to fit in with people. Drinking too, it's just something. You don't have to be completely sober, because like sometimes you just need a little bit of you need something to get lively, you know. But I have a friend that he'll drink occasionally, and that's the only thing he does. And then there's people that I have another friend that doesn't drink or smoke or anything. He just doesn't, and he's just as lively as the friends that do. So, it's whatever you want. It's your life, but don't go crazy. No one to not do it. No one to know what your limit is, and feel it out. But yeah, I don't know. Just trying to get real with you guys. Yeah, so I'm still in traffic. Still moving slow. I'm moving at 10, 11. Oh, hit 15 miles. How are you guys? Good? Good. Yeah. Been editing some video. A video that I filmed like months ago. Probably back in like April or March or April, and I just haven't finished it. I get in like these moods where like we'll film a skit or a video, and then I'm like, okay, cool, and I'll also like try editing it, and then I'm like, I don't want to edit it. I really don't like editing at all anymore. I don't know what happened. I used to like it. I used to not mind it, but I'm not sure if it was working on my movie, because I edited my movie myself. I wanted to find someone. I didn't find anyone to edit it that I trusted. I had like a family friend that is an editor professionally, and he gave me his opinions, but I didn't have a problem with editing that. I just think that what it is that it took so much time, it took so much effort, so many hours, so many different cuts. Like if you look at the first cut where it is now finished, it's not the same movie. That goes for the first draft of my script. The first draft of that script is a completely different movie. It's the same. The only thing that's the same is the character name. The main character has, well, no, because the script that we wound up shooting is different. The script that we were gonna shoot had the same character name, and then when my actor dropped out, I had to change it. So, yeah, completely different movie. It's along the lines of the same thing. It still had an undertone of family, like the family was kidnapped, and then they're going after them for revenge. So it had that same undertone throughout each script. But I'm just saying it's different every time. What was I saying? Oh, editing. So yeah, it just took so many hours, so many months, that I think it just kind of drained me from editing, and I really don't like it. I just don't like sitting there and doing it. Even even if people pay me to do their stuff, it's still not very fun to me. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's a lack of faith in my own ability, and that could very well be. Maybe I subconsciously don't think I'm a good editor, so I don't want to do it. I just keep putting it off. That could very well be the actual reason why I don't edit it. And the last time I edited a short that I shot, I was just so upset with the footage that we got that it just made me mad every time I tried to edit it. I didn't get the shots that I wanted. The DP really wasn't. I don't think we were on the same page, and so we didn't get everything we needed. And so it's still shelved, and people are asking me where it is, and I'm like, we'll get to it when I get to it. I've just been busy. That's the excuse. So I don't know. Maybe I have to revisit it. I don't know how I'm gonna get around it. There's just one shot that I just can't get around, and it drives me crazy every time I try to do it. But yeah, so I've been getting back into editing. I've been trying to get this project, this short. It's a little itty bitty movie for my Instagram account that I'll link in the description. Me and my friend Justin started an Instagram account. I'm sure I've talked about it before. It's called Itty Bitty Movies, and we make 1-minute shorts for Instagram. And this is one that we did months and months and many moons ago, and I'm finally getting back to it. So it's almost done. The cut, I mean, I have to like do sound design and stuff, but it's gonna be really funny. And I have a few ideas that I planned out that I really want to do, and so next weekend we're gonna get the boys back together, get Justin and Vin, and then we'll film a skit. And then I'm also like trying to learn a new program, so like a 3D editing program, so I can like add like 3D objects or like make 3D things. Like I really want to do this one where like a little horror one, so trying to like animate a creature or something, I don't know. So I'll do that. And and now that I think about it, I filmed another little horror, or I tried to film a little horror thing back in June when I went to Carmel by the Sea, and I just haven't touched it, so I actually have to do that. And then I filmed another horror film with my little sister almost a year ago. It must have been last like November. And I just saw the footage the other day. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about this. Sorry about the bumpies. I forgot about it, so I have to get back to edit that. So I got some projects that I can work on, and I just gotta figure out like why. I think I need to like meditate on why I keep putting off things, why I keep putting off writing certain scripts that are like on my desk that are unfinished. And I think it's on like it could be a toss up between I'm super fucking lazy or that I just don't have enough belief in myself, which could could be. I need to just kind of meditate on it and see like what's going on, what's going through my brain, and why I'm not working, and why I'm not like grinding, why I'm not like busting out projects all the time. I see all my friends, all like people that are in LA that are trying to get into film, and their stuff, some of their stuff like is either super good and super bad, but the point is they're making stuff, and I'm not. I'm just thinking about making stuff, and I just really want to flip that switch, because the only way that I'm gonna progress as a filmmaker is by continually making things. So I need to get back on that. I need to get back to making things constantly, even if they're shit. And I got into this mindset my really good friend Elena, we both went to school for filmmaking. She went to school for producing, and I went to school for directing. So we worked on all the films that we did. We worked with each other on. Even if she had to like direct one for a class, I either produced her film or filmed it, and she vice versa for me. So we were always working on things. And we kind of got into this thing where we always wanted, like, we were done making shitty productions. We were done just, like, grabbing a camera and filming with, like, friends. We wanted to audition people for everything we did. We wanted to, like, make sure we had some money to, like, get a few props if we needed to, and, like, feed some people and the crew. We wanted more than just, like, me and her and like, a friend actor. We wanted, like, everything that we did to have some sort of quality or a feel of quality to it. So we stopped just like making shorts all the time, and I'm still really into Film Riot. If you guys are filmmakers or want to be filmmakers and don't know about them, which you must, I don't know how you can be in 2018 and be a aspiring filmmaker and not know about Film Riot. And if you don't, I will link them below. You have to watch every single one of their videos. They will not disappoint. Super funny, super knowledgeable, so much information. But they used to do these things called Monday challenge, and they would give you a prompt and how to, like, they would say, this is what this challenge is. You have a minute to 2 minutes to do this, and it's due by this date. And so we'd get these are the times where we would get friends that were like semi in film, friends that were in that realm, like photographers or whatever. We'd get a group of friends together that were interested in making movies or like just shooting videos to have fun, and we would just do it. It'd take a couple hours and do it. Like, my first one I did was like a little jewel heist. We used my dad's office, had my 3 friends and my brother, who are not actors at all, be goons in this. And me and Elena, like, we like switched off filming it. I would do like the specialty shots that I wanted, and she would do the rest. And we would do that, and we started doing more of them like that too. And then we started, like, as time went on and I kept going through school, became friends with the people that were actors, so like the quality of acting improved on them, and as we did them, the quality of filming improved, and like the storytelling improved. But I think that only happened because we were doing so many, and we were able to fix our mistakes on the next ones and kind of explore. And that's what I really want to get back into, is exploring more and going outside of the box and doing more things that I normally don't do. And I think that's what I really want to focus on with these little itty bitty movies, is like since they're like on Instagram, you only have a minute. So not only is it a challenge to tell a story within a minute, but I also want to use that because it's so short, and I'm not like wasting a lot of time on like an hour, 20, 15, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, what have you. But I can use that minute to kind of work on a technique that I've been interested in, and that way I don't have to put on like a whole production to do it, and then I can kind of test it, see if I like it, and then if I want to like use it in something bigger, now I know kind of how to use it. Can kind of like fail a little bit to perfect it. So that's what I really want to start doing, is like maybe like once or twice a month, just shoot one of these things. Or either twice a month or every weekend. What am I trying to say? Once a week or twice a month. That's what I'm trying to say. Once a week or twice a month, I want to shoot one on the weekend if we can come up with enough ideas to just have a bunch of them. And I'm thinking maybe twice a month. That way, I can get on an editing schedule. You shoot one, put it out the next week. Shoot one, put it out the next week. That way, kind of on a little bit of a deadline. And so I think when I come back from AZ next weekend, I won't be back next weekend. I'll be back on this Sunday. But next weekend, when me, Justin, and Vin get together to shoot the next one that I have planned, which I think is hilarious. These are all basically how Itty Bitty Movies started. Was I had a super dumb idea, and you can go watch this because it's up there. And I actually want to turn this other idea into a short, a little bit longer form. But so I had an idea where and this is nothing new, but it's like, when people shoot their fingers as guns. So I'm like, let's do that, but like 2 dudes who are like secret spies or whatever, secret agents, and they're like fighting each other with guns. So like literally there's muzzle flashes coming out of my friend's fingers, and they're on a beach and they're shooting each other. And so I just wanted to see if it would work for something that I have a little idea that's a little bit larger scale. I think is really funny. So that's up right now. And then we haven't filmed. I also have another bit that I want to film that me and Justin just did one day. We were at the beach. He's Superman, and I kind of want to make it a continuous thing, and we just haven't gotten back to it. So, these are all just super stupid ideas that like are too stupid to justify making into long form content where it's like, oh, 1 minute, that's perfect. I don't know, why waste like 5 to 10 minutes doing like work focusing on one idea when you can do it in a minute or less. And it's also a challenge because trying to keep tell a story in a minute is extremely hard, and especially an entertaining one, because people's attention spans, especially now, are so short. And that's a great segue into me thanking you for listening for this long. I don't even know how long it's been. It's 45 minutes or whatever, and I super appreciate you listening to this long. And I know how like easy it is to like try to click off of something and listen to do something else, but I very much appreciate you listening. But yeah, so still stuck in traffic, guys. I don't know what to talk about anymore. Kind of like I talked about everything I wanted to. Getting hungry. I'm gonna eat a sandwich that I packed a little bit of a turkey sandwich on challah bread. So gonna eat that in a minute when I'm done, when I wrap up this. See how much time I got left on the good old GPS. 6 hours and 7 minutes. Gee, bus. There's like an accident, or there's just heavy traffic. Dick nabbit. Oh well. I don't know. Should I wrap it up here, or should we keep going? There's no one on the other side to answer. I know I say it every time, but I'm working on guests. Everything is like everything hasn't gone according to plan, which things never really do. So last week I really wanted a friend, but he wound up being busy, and whatever. Things happen. Things happen for a reason. So who knows? He's been working hard. He's been doing a bunch of short films and other stuff. So it'll happen when it happens. And yeah, I'm still behind on an episode, and it's really bothering me. So you'll get this one. Hopefully it's up. Today's Friday, so hopefully it's up today. But I'll try to edit it real quick and put it up tonight. If not, you'll get it tomorrow, and then I'll probably record on the way back from Arizona in the car, just because there's just so much time to do nothing. And yeah, it's just like I'm by myself and I can talk and got no judgments, so I'll probably record on the way back. Put it up to 3 car recordings. It'll put it up to the second place where I've done the most podcast recordings. So maybe eventually I'll just have to change to the CarCast with Harrison Berger instead of written directed by. Just kidding. But yeah, okay. I think this is where I'll wrap it up, because I'll just keep rambling on and say but and like and and a lot, and I really don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna thank you again if you made it this far for listening. I really appreciate it. Sorry about the audio if you heard trucks and bumps and all sorts of things and noises. I sincerely, truly appreciate you and love you, and thank you so much for listening. If you found anything useful in this episode, share it. Even if you didn't find it useful, just share it. Be like, hey, I listened to this podcast. You should listen to it too. And yeah, make sure you thumbs it up on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to it on iTunes. You can find Written and Directed by Harrison Berger on iTunes, Spotify, Castbox, Anchor, Google Play, Stitcher. I don't know where else. Probably, honestly, I say it every time, but honestly, you can find this podcast pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts. At least that's what the service I use says. So yeah, just like it, share it, rate it. Leave a comment if there's something that you'd like to talk about. Leave it in the comments, or DM me on Instagram at Harrison Burger. Follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram too. You don't just have to DM me. Follow me on Twitter at Harrison C Burger. And if there's things that you want to talk about, want me to discuss, DM me, tweet me. If there's things that you just want to talk about privately, that you don't really want out in the podcast realm, but want someone to talk to, go ahead and let me know. Just be specific. Just say it's okay to put in the podcast, or do you want it to be private? But feel free to, if you just need someone to talk to. I know it can be hard to talk to people, especially when you don't want to feel judged. And I promise you won't feel judgment from me. I will never judge you for anything that you've done, because we all make mistakes. We all do certain things. We all have done things in our lives that we do. We shouldn't judge another person for doing those things, because we don't know the circumstances of why those things were done. So if you need someone to talk to, please reach out. Don't be afraid. Even if it's not me, reach out to someone that you care about and talk to them, because in the long run, it'll only make your relationship with that person stronger. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much. I really love you. And and remember, just always always reflect on the greatness. And I'm on the road again. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you on Sunday. Cut!